Anjem Choudary is a name synonymous with extremism and hate. He has become infamous for his radical preaching and inflammatory rhetoric. This notoriety extends from his home in the United Kingdom to the United States. For years, Choudary has been a prominent figure in radical Islamist circles. He is known for his outspoken support of banned organizations like Al-Qaeda. Choudary's influence has been significant. He has inspired numerous individuals to join extremist groups. His teachings promote a twisted interpretation of Islam. This interpretation advocates violence and hatred against the West. His toxic ideology has found fertile ground online. It has attracted a global following of disaffected individuals. Choudary's actions have not gone unnoticed by law enforcement. Both UK and US authorities have been monitoring him for years. He has been a central figure in numerous investigations into terrorist activities. His ability to evade justice for so long is a testament to his cunning. However, the law finally caught up with Choudary. In 2016, Choudary was found guilty of inviting support for ISIS. This verdict marked a significant victory in the fight against terrorism. It sent a clear message that inciting violence and hatred will not be tolerated. The trial of Anjem Choudary was a landmark event. It shed light on the inner workings of his extremist network. The prosecution presented a compelling case against him. They meticulously documented his years of radical preaching. The evidence included countless hours of recordings. These recordings captured Choudary inciting hatred and violence.
Choudary faced a number of serious charges. The most significant of these was inviting support for a terrorist organization. Specifically, he was accused of pledging allegiance to ISIS. This is a proscribed terrorist group responsible for countless atrocities. Choudary's defense team argued that his words were protected by free speech. They claimed he was merely expressing his religious beliefs. However, the jury ultimately rejected this argument. They found Choudary guilty on all charges. This verdict was a clear indication that freedom of speech has its limits. It does not extend to inciting violence and hatred. The judge sentenced Choudary to 5 years and 6 months in prison. This sentence reflected the severity of his crimes. It sent a strong message that those who incite terrorism will face the full force of the law. The conviction of Anjem Choudary was a major victory for counter-terrorism efforts.
The case against Anjem Choudary was built on years of painstaking work by law enforcement. Undercover agents played a crucial role in gathering evidence. These agents infiltrated Choudary's inner circle. They gained his trust and documented his activities. A significant portion of the evidence came from online platforms. Choudary used these platforms to spread his message of hate. He delivered lectures and sermons via online platforms. These lectures were often attended by a global audience.
Undercover agents were present in many of these online gatherings. They meticulously recorded Choudary's every word. The recordings revealed the true extent of his extremism. Choudary used coded language and subtle cues to incite his followers. He spoke of the need for a global Islamic caliphate. He glorified the actions of terrorist groups like ISIS. He also provided practical advice to his followers. This advice included instructions on how to travel to Syria to join ISIS. The evidence gathered through these undercover operations was critical in securing Choudary's conviction. It provided a chilling glimpse into the mind of a man who had dedicated his life to spreading hate and violence.
Section 4, Al-Muhajirun, a breeding ground for extremism. Anjem Choudary was a founding member of Al-Muhajirun. This is a notorious extremist group that has been banned in the UK. Al-Muhajirun, meaning the emigrants in Arabic, operated under the guise of a religious organization. However, its true purpose was to spread radical Islamist ideology.
The group gained notoriety for its provocative demonstrations and inflammatory rhetoric. They praised the 9/11 attacks and other terrorist atrocities. They openly recruited young Muslims to join jihadist groups abroad.
Al-Muhajirun has been linked to numerous terrorist plots and attacks. These include the 7/7 London bombings and the murder of Lee Rigby. Although officially disbanded, the group continued to operate under different names and aliases. Choudary remained a key figure in this network. He exploited legal loopholes to continue spreading his message of hate. The group's enduring influence highlights the challenges of combating extremism. It shows how extremist groups can adapt and evolve to evade law enforcement. Section 5. A milestone in counter-terrorism, the significance of the verdict. The conviction of Anjem Choudary was a watershed moment in the fight against terrorism. It represented a significant victory for law enforcement and intelligence agencies. The verdict sent a powerful message that inciting terrorism online will not be tolerated. It also highlighted the effectiveness of undercover operations and online surveillance in combating extremism.
Choudary's conviction marked a turning point. It showed that individuals who incite terrorism, even from behind a computer screen, will be held accountable for their actions.
The case also had broader implications for counter-terrorism efforts. It led to increased scrutiny of online platforms used by extremists. Governments and tech companies face pressure to crack down on online radicalization.
The conviction of Anjem Choudary served as a stark reminder. The threat of extremism has moved beyond physical borders to the digital realm. Law enforcement agencies need to adapt their strategies to meet this evolving challenge.